No, it is an A. Speed of 6, E5 to F5. Hey everybody, RV Enthusiast here. Nice seeing you again. Today we are talking about the titanium Flux 125 DC arc welder from Harbor Freight. That's right, Harbor Freight. I don't often buy many things from Harbor Freight, but I did buy this titanium flux welder. I've never welded in my life, but I'm gonna try and see how I do. I can solder really, really well. But I've never in my almost 62 years on this planet have touched a welder. So I always wanted one. This is just something for me to learn how to do something that I wanted to do, but I thought this was a good buy. And then yesterday was Amazon Prime, second day. I'll show you what that is first. Now I probably won't get to welding before tomorrow, so this will probably go up Friday. After I bought the welder and before the Amazon Prime box arrived this morning, I watched some welders on YouTube, and I'll put their name here for the guy that mentioned this. I'll put his channel up here. He's a welder, I'm not, and I don't know if I'll ever be a welder, but I'll put his name right here, his channel right there, and you can look at him and see what he does. He does some nice stuff. Anyway, watched one of his videos yesterday, and he was talking about how to get scrap metal to practice and stuff like that. Watched his channel. I said, man, we got a bunch of those places around here, but the first place I went to was John Deere. Because I bought my John Deere from John Deere, I said, well, let's check you guys out. And I said, hey, can I go in your, do you guys have any scrap metal? And he goes, well, we got rid of it a couple weeks ago, so I don't know if we have any. Let's go ask the manager of service. So we go back there. He asked him, and he was a really nice guy. And he said, yeah, we got some. Go back there, take your pick. So I went back there, and I was surprised how much was there, but I don't need all that. I didn't want to take advantage of the situation, especially if I'm not going to do a bunch of it. But he gave me I took 3 pieces. He said, take your pick, whatever you want. So what I took was this big old rusty piece here. I took this bar here. And I took this little shiny piece here. All of them feel like steel. I know that's steel and that's steel. I don't know about the shiny piece, but I took the 3 of those, brought those home yesterday. Those will be perfect for me to learn how to weld. And one of the things I'm going to weld, that little round bar, or that little square tubing bar, I'll show you one thing I'm going to do. A little square tubing bar, this is my landscape rake. And you notice how it's sitting down? Well, when I back up Johnny to it, I have to lift this up to put it on Johnny. I'm going to make a kickstand for it, weld the kickstand on, so I don't have to manhandle it. So it'll sit up like this when I need to attach it, so I don't have to worry about that. And then the kickstand will fold up underneath. Seems like a pretty simple project to me. I'll show you that, not this video, but I'll show you a video of that when I'm doing it. That should be pretty simple. Anyway, my license plate bracket on my Jeep is real cheap stuff. It wiggles, and it wiggles so much, and it's so flimsy that every time I take it to the car wash, it bends the license plate and everything like that, and it's actually bent a number off of it, or a letter off of it. So my license plate isn't exactly what it's supposed to be. So I need to fix that, and I'm going to weld a piece for that. That's good. And what I bought it for is the Traeger. The lid on the Traeger really folds back real far. It's not supposed to do that. The hinges are pretty damaged, and I figured, man, if I can weld that and weld a little rest plate in the middle of it, so the lid will never go back that far, that'll be perfect. And that's really what I bought it for. So again, when people see my welds, don't go crazy critical. Don't be, oh, you weld like crap. Well, yeah, of course I do. I've never done it. You guys will see the actual first weld. I'm not going to play a game. I'm not going to say, oh, look at my first weld, this is how good or how bad it was. You will see the first weld. And I'll show you the tip before I weld, so you'll see. Okay, from things I've watched on YouTube, I saw a video yesterday on welding wire, and they said that this is good welding wire. This is from Italy. Oh, so I got my helmet. I got some gloves from Amazon. These are Deco Pro gloves. They were on sale on Prime Day as well for $8. I got a couple of scrapers. I got these from Harbor Freight. I got a hammer from Harbor Freight. The one thing I do know is I watched a lot of videos, and some of the people said, you know, don't use the Harbor Freight wire. So when I was on Amazon Prime, I bought some better wire, which is this INE. This wire is from Italy, and this guy did a test, and he showed the Harbor Freight and some other, I think Lincoln wire, and then he showed this, and he said this just didn't splatter near as bad. And he said, what do you expect? It's from Italy, and it was more money than the others. And he, you know, so the one that comes with the titanium, I'm just going to put it aside and use it if I ever need it in an emergency. But I may never weld through 2 pounds of regular wire, so we'll see. Yeah, it's a little how-to. What's wrong if you're doing it. I'll take this in and read this tonight. I've already read the manual online, so that's. You know, I'm ahead of the game there. A couple of extra, I don't know what they're called, tips. And tips, I don't know. I'll know later. Smells good. Doesn't have the typical Harbor Freight smell. Smells good. Everyone says this is chintzy. Yep, it is. The box is pretty hefty. It's like a double corrugated box. That's nice. I got to keep this for a little while just in case it goes back, right? Of course, leaving it on the corner of this table, not a smart idea. This is just another pound, or 1 pound of the wire is going to stay in the box. I figure if I'm new at it, the best thing for me to do is to get better wire rather than worse wire, because at least with better wire and known better wire, I'll know it's not all me. I mean, it is all me versus being some of the wire issue. Anyway, here it is. They didn't even have this on display actually when I bought it. It was in the back room. They said, yeah, we haven't set those out for display yet. And I know the people that have done them online were doing them from end of June or 1st of July. So that's so I know it's just my store. I ain't put them out. I haven't put them out. They only had 2 in stock, this one and one other. So let's undo this here a little bit. There's the bag. Here's the welder. Here's the clamp. This is a 110 welder too. This is, yes, I know. This is not a 220 welder. I know. It's a flux-core. The ones I watched online, this did not break the circuit. So if it does, I have a lot of 20 amp circuits around here. I'm not real concerned with that. Then you lift this up. Here's the carrying strap. I don't know. With my 3D printer, instead of doing a carrying strap, I might make a little 3D handle to attach here. Carry with a handle, maybe. Anyway, this is certainly better than their good model, the Chicago electric model. This is nice, little flexible line. Variable rheostats on the front for your wire speed and your amperage going to the gun. What I remember seeing on a guy online is there's a cold feed button right here. Here, let's pick you up and bring you closer. Here's where your wire goes. The wire feed comes in here, comes through here, comes out, and then comes out the gun. You can cold feed it right here. It's a momentary contact, so you can cold feed it there. Let's turn it towards, we'll turn it towards the light. So we got, this is your temperature, A through J, and this is your wire speed. Knobs feel pretty decent. The top knob feels a little better than the bottom knob, but very similar. Power comes out the front. No, doesn't. That's the ground. Power does come out the back. Anyway, it feels nice. And like I said, one of the reasons I bought it was I like that color, man. And your little stuff in here. I like that too when I saw it. All right, guys, we're right back at it here. It's now Friday, the 19th, I believe. And we're going to mess with the titanium Flux 125. Going to open it up. Here's the chart for what you're doing. I did pick up some scraps from my local John Deere dealer. I don't know how thick that is. It's pretty thin though, probably 1/8 of an inch. Or so. I don't know how good it'll be anyway because I'm not a welder. This will be the first weld and the first time I ever touched anything like this. So let's see how it goes. Okay, just going to set that on there. Okay, one of the tricks they say is once you pull this off, don't let it go because it will unspool. That kind of seems like the wrong way to go. I think I need to rotate it around. Seems like it should be curling around this way into the container. So let's do that. And again, I'm going to keep tension on this wire because I don't want it to unspool on me like everyone says. One thing I'm good at is watching YouTube videos and learning in terms of to do, not to do, right? Okay, so I've cut that off. This will go in here. We are past the clamp, and I think we're there. I think that's it. So now I've got it plugged in. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to feed the wire. You got a wire feed here. They say make sure your gun is pretty straight out. The gun is straight out. I need to take the tip off. It is now plugged in, and it did come on. Now I'm going to feed the wire. So it comes out here. And there's the wire. So far, pretty simple. Turn it back off. And you could have fed it by, you could have fed the wire by pushing the button. I'm going to set you up here now. I chose not to. I chose to feed it through the cold feed system. That way the tip isn't hot. Instructions are really good so far. So the only thing I need to do is put the helmet on, put my gloves on. I should be wearing long sleeves. The little bit I'm going to do is not going to hurt me, so I'm not worried about getting burnt. And I got my legs showing. The little bit I'm going to do ain't going to hurt me because I'm not going to do this, but just to show that it works on video and that if I can or can't draw a straight or curvy line, and if I can do it at all. So again, I haven't struck it ever, so we'll see what happens here. Let me get the paraphernalia on and get the. Let's make sure of a couple of things. How thick this wire is, or this is. Like I said, I think it's an 1/8, but it could be less. No, it is an 1/8. Okay, so I got 1/8 inch there. So on 1/8 inch, you go on 030, a wire speed of 6 and a voltage of 5, E5 to F5. So I'll go wire speed of 6, E5 to F5, so we'll go F. That's right between all of it. That's everything. Again, if you're a welder, don't make snide comments. I'm not a welder. I've never done it. This is the first time I will ever touch a welder in my life. Other than watching YouTube videos, that's all I've ever seen of it. And we'll see how it goes. I got it to do a few projects around the house. Let's see how it goes. Not bad for my first one. First ever. Here we go again. Now I can understand what they're talking about, the puddle. I can see it moving. All right, we'll knock the slag off of it and see what it looks like. To you guys that weld, you tell me, did it sound like bacon frying? Okay, so again, I've never welded. I've never touched a welder. This is the first time I welded. So use that as a guide too. So I know nothing about it other than what I saw on TV, or not TV, on YouTube. And I think I did okay for a first timer. I probably let my tip get a little long at the end, but let's see what it looks like here. Okay, now I've got to scrub it off. Quality brushes. Let's see if I don't want to stand in the way of the light. Again, I've never welded before. This was my first weld. I went a little fast, I pulled away, and then went some more. So that's my first weld. Not bad here, not bad here, terrible in the middle. This was my second weld. I understood what they talked about when they talked about pooling, where the slag pools and the weld pools, the metal pools, and then I drug that down as well. Those are the first two spots I've ever welded in my life. Anyway, that's the titanium flux 125 welder. I'm more than happy. I was just very happy to see it start and arc and do what it's supposed to do. And yeah, it did okay. It did okay. And again, guys, I know I wasn't dressed properly. It was just to show, oh, those sparks, I mean, I got some on me that they didn't hurt. I wouldn't, you know. But the little bit I did was just fine. Was just fine. And in the future, yes, I'll wear a jacket and pants with legs in them. Yeah, I will, I promise. But I was at least properly geared on the head and with my eyes protected. So, yeah, in the future, that's what I'll do. I just wanted, you know, I had itchy fingers, man. I just had to take it. I had to do it. And and this is the way I dress all the time. So, you know, if I punch a hole through this shirt, so what? I got another 100 of them that have holes in them too. So it doesn't really matter. This is how I walk around my daily life. If I'm going out to dinner or lunch with the wife, I'll put a Carhartt shirt on or something and some pants or better shorts. But yeah, that's where we're at. Anyway, I can't recommend or not recommend a titanium welder from Harbor Freight because I've never owned a welder, period. Is this a good start for a welding? It looks like it for welding. It looks like it to me. It's $170, $169. But all the videos I've seen on it on YouTube and the people that have quality and non-quality welders, they all said it's a good welder. So I'm going with that. I'm sticking with it, and I like it. And again, you know, this or the Lincoln, I think they're probably very comparable. At least if you look at the guts and all that other stuff, they're comparable. I just happen to like the green. So if the Lincoln one was green and this one was red, I would have probably bought the Lincoln. Honestly, that's really the only reason. I just liked the green of it. So there you have it, guys. There it is, final shot. It'll be worth the $169 because people around here don't do little simple welds. They won't take it in their shop and weld something for 10 bucks or 15 bucks for you. They usually want more than that. And then they, you know, it ain't no better than that, really. I mean, it's probably better, but it's just a weld, man. I'm not doing something structural. I'm just doing something around the house. Well worth the money. All right, guys, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Appreciate you joining me today. Appreciate all the new subscribers. And you notice my lead-in, it now says Season 4. That is true. We are starting Season 4. And yeah, it'll be as much about RVing and RV stuff as I can get. But it's also about my barn and what I'm going to be doing in my barn. And Johnny. And Johnny's hair clippers. And Johnny's drag rake, and Johnny's teeth, and my tiller, Cosmo, and now I got a 31-gallon Northern DutchStar pull behind sprayer, and I think I got a couple more tools I need to get. But here's what they did yesterday. So if you look, exposed aggregate all the way out to the end of the barn and all the way up there. So this is 10 feet out from the barn. So we go 10 feet to the step is 65 feet. Well, I'll show you. This is 65 feet long, 10 by 65. And it's getting warm out here. So you come over to here, and then you step up right here, 65 feet. And then this is What he charged me for was 16 by 27. And I think he just threw that in for me. And we also added this little segment over here because Laura does not want this on here. She wants it sitting off, and that's the perfect size for that to sit off there. And man, I got a buttload of stuff to do, man. I got so much to do, it's pathetic. But I wanted to show you kind of, I'm not just sitting around doing nothing. We're trying to get stuff done for my family, I should say, in Attala, Alabama. There it is. A little bit done up, and that is not AFD, it's APD, Attala Police Department. That's because I got a cousin that just retired from there, and he's a good man. So that's why that dog looks like the Attala Police Department dog, fire department, police department. Anyway, they'll know the joke about it. So anyway, that's for them. All right, so that's the titanium welder from Harbor Freight. It's on sale right now. It was a good buy at $169, normally $199. I picked up this helmet here from Amazon on Amazon Prime Day, and it's not a great helmet. It's not an expensive helmet, but it certainly does what it needs to do. You can tell when you put it on that it works. It's an auto darkening helmet. It's a really inexpensive one, I think. You know, I've seen mixed reviews on it. The reviews online were good, but you know, people talking about it said it's only good for occasional welding. Hey, that's me. So yeah, that was on Amazon Prime for 24 bucks. So that's why I bought it. And it worked well. It really worked well. I could see everything I needed to see in that puddle, and it was fine. Anyway, I appreciate you joining me. That's my take on the flux-core, titanium flux-core 125 welder, and it works great. All right, guys, thanks for joining me.
To like, share, and subscribe, click the logo to the left.